What did your wife-husband hide from you until after you were already married? His first name, didn't know I'd been calling him by his middle name until we were signing the marriage license. He had taken breakdancing lessons as a kid. He won't show me. 250,000 in unpaid taxes. After our divorce, my ex-husband very quickly married a godly woman who just joined his church who confessed she had been married twice before. Our son overheard something about this, so I looked her up in our local court system that has divorce records. Turns out she had 5 ex-husbands, all in the same pension program, and she was on their retirement as beneficiaries. My ex was in the same pension program, but didn't believe his oh-so-Christian fiancée could ever lie or be married that many times. Their marriage lasted 2 years and he had to liquefy a $401k to bribe her to be removed from his pension. She used that money to take her boyfriend, who my ex didn't know she had, on a tropical vacation, then move into a new place with him. I knew he had a DUI. I didn't know it was 5, triggering felony DUI, and he couldn't have a license for 10 years. Scrabble is my game. I had never lost to anyone until the first time my husband and I played against each other. He obliterated me. I had talked a big game and I was flabbergasted. 7 years into our marriage, he admitted during a couples party game that he had waited until I went to the bathroom and swapped out some tiles. Ag. My ex told me about how her ex-husband had threatened her a knife and chased her around the house. After she attacked me, I tracked him down and it was her that did the knifing, not him. Found he was doing crack. Had been in rehab for many years before I knew him. He was supposedly sober. Then a bit after we got married, I found a stash of crack in his tool belt. He tried to play it off as I keep it as a reminder that I'm strong enough to say no, and I believed him. I didn't truly, but I wanted to, so I pretended. Till I caught him buying it, started finding crack pipes. Edit. Wow, a lot of people have dealt with similar sneaky shit. It sucks and I'm sorry y'all have been through it too. Farts that clear the room. Was like she held them all in until after the vows. I hid that I was a male cheerleader in HS from my wife for more than 15 years. That he was gay. That he was in the military. I had recently enlisted in the army when I met him out one night. He told me he was a Marine veteran, and that's how we started talking. He told me stories about his time overseas and how he still keeps in touch with his military buddies. We eventually get married 2 years later, and when I applied for a VA loan under his name, I got a letter from DOD that they had no record of him ever being in the military. He fabricated the whole thing. He would ask for military discounts constantly and would tell these elaborate war stories to people, all while wearing old military clothes. When I confronted him about all the lies, he started yelling at me. We are now divorced. Discovered my husband spoke 3 languages fluently. He surprised me by conversing with foreign guests at a party. My now ex-husband threatened to kill his sister with a gun, holding it to her head. She skips all the cutscenes in every game. It kills me. Edit clarification. This includes even the first playthrough of any game whatsoever. That he was unemployed and in the middle of a bankruptcy case, and he also lost his house to foreclosure. The worst part is that I never found out about any of this until years later when we were getting divorced. He hid so much from, and I still have no clue how. Night terrors. Had her first one a couple months into the marriage. She went right back to sleep. I of course was prepared for battle. The next morning when I asked her if she wanted to talk about it, she said, "Talk about what?" I said, "You screaming like you were being killed in the middle of the night." Her reply was, "Oh yeah, I do that sometimes." Not married, but my girlfriend of several years hid the fact that she is a huge Trekkie from me for the first 8 months or so of our relationship. We were watching some sci-fi movie and she remarked that ships almost always look symmetrical. I made the point that Star Trek had some race that had odd ships. She goes, the Breen, mentioned in TNG, but seen the first time in DS9. I was like, what? And then she shyly showed me her DVD collection of the series and a couple of models. It's been 8 years now. We boldly go together. I didn't really sneeze as loud as I wanted to when we were dating. Once we're hitched, I unleashed the full-blown dead sneeze. Turns out my wife is allergic to cats. She never told me because I had 2 when we met, and she didn't want me to choose between her and my pets.